And oh man, here we are, Bristol, 200 laps. You got Demon broadcasting here and producing, and I got Edwin Ward in the booth. Edwin.
Hello, sir. I'm excited for this one. Good old-fashioned, high-speed, short-track racing here today.
Man, as I told you, this is my favorite. Bristol, in the dark, under the lights. This is my favorite broadcast here, Edwin.
Oh yeah, it's going to be an interesting one. Bristol's known for being multi-groove. Seems like it may kind of, sneak into one groove or maybe two grooves only, but it's going to be a fun one.
Man, oh man. So let's take a look here.
We're going to take a look here at the starting lineup,
sorry
but
about that.
also make sure if you're watching on YouTube, hit that wrench, change it to 1440p for the best quality of the broadcast. It's going to really change your viewing experience, and you're going to be able to see these cars shine in the night sky.
And as we said, Edwin, we got Bristol, 200 laps. This is our next gen race, man. This is going to be really exciting.
Oh, yeah, it's going to be an absolute fun one. These guys got their work cut out for them. There's a lot of them on track, and they're going to be right next to each other. So they've really got to pay attention.
And let's see here. Let's go through. We didn't have a lot of people qualifying, but here is our grid real quick. We got Matthew Tennant. We got Tom Ringer, Gary Bergeson, and Todd Perrott in the second row. We got Max Dinda and Sean Dion in the third row.
I'm just joking.
Charles Connor and Brandon Hinton in the fourth row. We got Jacob Williams and Thomas Law.
You know I want to flip you off, Tom.
Austin Knight and Tyler Watts. And that's it. And let's take a look at our grid because we have a lot of people that didn't line up here. And there it is.
Yeah, we've got people like Chuck Burley, Brian Souza didn't qualify, Hunter Cox, Tanner Honeycutt, Christopher Morton, Craig Knoll, Jonathan Geis, Cody Benzel, David Hickory, Donald Colcutt, and our great famous man, Earl Lee, Christian Clark, and Ryan Godfrey. We've also got a car starting from the pits. It looks like the 54 missed the grid time and will be starting from the pits.
Man, and as you heard, I accidentally had the track mic on. They're excited and they're ready to race.
Oh, yeah, they're getting prepped and ready for this as Matthew Tennant is going to be the one leading them down. Matthew Tennant is a strong qualifier, but the people right around him are going to be strong as green flags.
Oh, no.
Away.
No. Oh.
That's going to be an early race caution. I hope that didn't kill Tom Ringer's race right there because he got hit hard.
Man, oh man. Let's try to take a look here, man.
Looks like he was starting in first gear, just spun it, slapped Tom Ringer. And
what did he say? Ask him what the black flag was for. All right, here we are back.
And we're back to green flag racing. These guys are off and off to the races. Tom Ringer is going to jump out to an early race start right now with Jerry Bergeron following up in P2, Todd Perront in the P3 position. Caution, caution, going to be waving in the back. Something big just went down involving the 43 and the 99.
Hunter, I'm gonna have to do a live sound check with you, so you bring it back when we come back. I'll warn you though. Never mind, I just hot mic'd them. And here we're back, live. Edwin Hunter,
Oh.
I'm gonna go back to producing here. And Edwin Hunter, here you are.
Oh, welcome back after that quick commercial break. Tom Ringer restarting in the lead. He's got his teammate Todd Perront starting behind him. Charles Connor, Matthew Tennant, Brandon Hinton round out your top five.
Charles Connor's actually doing pretty good. You know, he's now up into the P3 position. But one thing I noticed when I was out there practice with these guys, after about six or eight laps, the car starts pushing towards that outside wall. So you're going to see these guys kind of gravitate towards a lower line. And, you know, they've got to really pay attention to that. They don't want to have that issue of colliding with the wall.
Yeah, it looks like we're going to encounter some lap traffic here. Gary Berger on the one car involved in that last incident. Tom Ringer's pulling up to him. I think it's interesting here tonight is we have a lot of different lines being ran. You know, the 68's running that middle groove, 69, 67 are up high. Looking back towards like the 5 car, he is sticking to that yellow line there on the bottom. I wonder if that's a strategy he's playing to try to save his tires instead of his run.
Yeah, he's probably on a tire saving strat. I mean, from something, you know, these guys were talking about in the practice session was the tires burning really fast here. So you've got to, like, be careful because if you're not, you're going to be the one out. Looks like we got some dicey racing going on back here towards the P8 position. Thomas Long, Brian Souza, Ryan Godfrey, and Tyler Waltz throwing it down.
See that 54 car roll the high side. I expect to see him get the momentum, but it looks like he's going to get picked by the 60 car, Brian Souza.
Yeah, and he looked like he just kind of rubbed the wall a little bit there. But, ooh, 23 swinging up into the wall as well. I told you, man, those tires get to wearing, and these guys start getting squirrely all over the place.
Yeah, it looks like the 54 is down quite a bit of momentum. He's going to get passed by the 43 and the 13 there on the blue line.
Todd Perrot's now coming under threat from Charles Connor right now, so we might have a battle for the P2 position now.
Looks like we got a yellow out.
Looks like it's something with the 6 car back there. He came over the radio real quick and said, "My bad, my bad." We always applaud people taking accountability, so that's good of him to say, "My bad."
The 23 of Thomas Long was sideways there on the track.
Yeah, it looks like the 6 car actually got into the 23 and whipped the 23 around. You know, as Joey Logano said, that's just short track racing. And they're having some real short track racing moments out here right now.
I expect tempers to flare tonight. Bristol's a very fun short track. You know, you have the different lines, a lot of speed around the high line, but you have the guys that can run the low line, able to manage their tires, but it's also, you know, it's just everybody's just one strong up.
They're getting real crazy out there. Thomas Long is right behind the pace car, or actually, I think he's gone around it now. But no, he has not. He is still behind the pace car right in front of the leader. So hopefully he did not go a lap down, and he'll be able to rebound from this situation. Charles Connor was getting close to Todd Perrott. Now, I know that's something Todd Perrott's going to be thinking about. He's going to be thinking about how those guys behind him were catching him and getting real close. Charles Connor is a real good short track racer, so I do expect some good things out of him.
Looking through the field tonight, we got a lot of pretty sharp-looking paint schemes for these next-gen cars out here.
Oh, yeah, people are out here looking absolutely beautiful. You know, a lot of those paint shops that we got circulating through DES, you know, you've got, you know, the Hunter Davis designs, TRM designs, Poltergeist designs, Rat Fink designs, all those guys circulating through, and also the self-made ones out there. Everybody's looking beautiful. We've got a color explosion going on here. So many unique colors out there. So many beautiful machines.
You know, we were talking about all the red and black cars, and I think I only see one of them out there on the field. You're going back to the green flag. Tom Ringer is going to fix that.
Yes, sir. We're back to green flag racing, and like you said, the only red car I see out there is probably Chuck Burley out there, who's also running in the P8 position and casually trying to work his way towards the front. These guys have to be real careful. You're right near each other at all times on track. You've got to be as careful as possible to make sure you're not taking yourself out of this race. I do want to highlight Mr. Earl Lee is running back in the P19 position, one lap down, so he is hoping that he can get that lap back.
6 car into the wall there a little bit. It's kind of interesting. I haven't really seen anybody running a true high line. Everybody's kind of running either the low line or they're running this hybrid line where they're diamonding in the corner. They'll run high and then try to exit low by themselves. It seems like a lot of guys are struggling to actually run a true high line here. There on corner exit. A lot of cars into the wall.
Yeah, and that's the thing. As the tires wear, they're bouncing off that wall hard as Charles Conner is really... He gave the bumper to Todd Barat just there, saying, hey, man, you're holding me up. Did you see that right there, Hunter? He tapped him right on the rear end because now he's under threat from the 5 car as well.
Yeah, it looks like he wanted to express, that he was a lot quicker and he was kind of being held up, struggling to make the pass there on the low line. So now the 69 is under threat from the 5 car.
67 is now also about to get under threat from Matthew Tennant, our original pole sitter, who spun on the first lap right away, spun that car right at the green flag. So good rebound for him. He is trying to make his way back up there.
54 and 6 car having a good little battle back here for position number 7. 54 in the low line, 6 in the high line. 6 is going to clear. Now 6 is going to go after the 07 car, Jacob Williams.
Yeah, you called it like it is, man. I don't see any true high lines going on yet. They are all kind of diamonding off all over the place. They're trying to find as much grip as they can because these tires are wearing really fast. So I'm excited to see when green flag pit stops do happen because I already know right now there will not be a single
car in the wall. 07, 6 car in the wall.
A lot of them into the wall, packing it into that wall.
Don't think iRacing didn't throw the caution there. We are under yellow. We're going to step away to a quick commercial break. We'll be right back.
At the river mouth, the bears catch only the tastiest, most tender salmon. Which is exactly what we at John West want. John West endured the worst to bring you the best.
And we're going to take a quick replay look at what happened here today with the 07 car. He was leading in front of the 6. We go into the corner. I believe this is turn 3 and 4. No, that was 1 and 2. He drifts up, hits the wall. 6 car has momentum, and this 07 looks like he kind of bobbled. The car was not stable yet. It was still trying to catch itself. He was still fighting that thing. It just came up right in front of him. It stacked up about 4 of them. And also Hunter Cox, who's also there in the 43, who's trying to make his way back towards the front patiently. Now, we do have some green flag pit stops happening. It's lap 40, and we've got a lot of cars hitting pit road. I'm talking about almost the entire front of the field is on pit road right now. We do have 4 cars that did stay out, though, so there are some cars that are still on track, and maybe some of those guys who needed a wave around also probably stayed out. It looks like we got the 29, the 03, the 29 of Daniel Colcutt, and then we've got the 03 of Austin McKnight, Brian Souza in the 60, Thomas Long in the 23. They are the first cars who did stay out, but Max Dinda is up there. I wonder if he took tires because he was not near the front at this time, but he is up there now. I think he pitted maybe ever so slightly right before all these other guys. Green flag back out. The 29 gets a good jump. 03 does not. 48 makes it 3 wide on Thomas Long. Brian Souza. He dispatches everybody and goes to P2 and sets his sight on Donald Colcutt in the 29 Rat Pink driver. These guys are back here racing hard, 67-13 side by side right now, battling for position. And then you've got Brandon Hinton. He has dispatched the 69 of Todd Perrant. 23 is under threat from Tom Ringer. Tom Ringer is going to dispatch them right now, and I'm going to say it right now. I'm going to call it like it is. Tires are king. If you do not have tires, you are going backwards, as you can see right now from these guys as they are getting hot and chased down. Colcutt was passed by Max Didda, and Max Didda is trying to put a second lead on him right now. Tom Ringer catching up like a freight train right now. Oh my gosh, tires are crucial.
Yeah, you're going to see those guys that took fresh tires slowly start migrating back towards the front. The guys who did not are going to start falling back towards the rear. This isn't a track like Martinsville. Track position is important here, but tires will make a huge difference as these guys work their way back to the field.
Look at this gaggle right here of cars. The 03, 29, 5, 23, 13, as well as the 69. Look at them all on top of each other. 67's there, 4's there. They're all right there following two cars who did not take tires and have nowhere to go right now. That's the thing. When you don't take tires, if you ride side by side with somebody else who didn't take tires, you pretty much put a stop on the track. But the 5-car Brandon Hinton finds a hole, but he decides to back out of it. Highly respectable driver. He doesn't want to cause an issue, but now he finds the opening he needs, and he gets to the inside of that 03, and he starts heading off in the right direction.
Oh, 23 car into the wall. Let's see if he's able to keep it. Looks like everybody else stays out of him.
That's only going to hurt the 67. Oh, they get into a 3-wide scenario. They bounce off somebody into the wall. Wonder who that was into the wall next to the 67. Looks like it was the 63 of Craig Knoll.
48 of Max Denda is also backwards on the track. Not for sure what happened up there. We'll have to take a look at that one as well.
Oh, from the race lead. We missed that looking at all these battles going on. How could that have happened? Yeah, 67 just got pinched. 23 came down off the wall, and 67 noses it into the wall as well.
Let's see if we can get a good look at the... Looks like somebody who was involved in that incident came off the track in front of the leaders and massive damage to the front end of that 48 car.
While these guys get sorted out, we're going to take a quick commercial break and then be back with the action.
Bud. Wise. Bud. Wise. Bud. Bud. Wise. Bud. Wise. Bud. Bud. Wise. Bud. Wise. Bud. Wise. Bud. Wise. Bud.
Much a part of growing up as smoking corn silk behind the back fence. This has been a public service message of the American Medical Association and your local station.
He fell. Whoa, I'm not driving. I'm way too stoned. How are you feeling, Beer?
Oh, since we had that talk, I'm not driving tonight at all.
What about you, Dave?
You only had a couple of drinks.
And only a couple of puffs.
I don't drink and drive. No way I'm getting behind the wheel when I smoked weed, too.
How are we getting home, then?
Oh, you can drive, Dave.
Come on, Dave.
Take one for the team, buddy.
Don't let weed and alcohol influence your decision to drive.
Yeah, I need a ride.
Is there anyone out there who still isn't clear about what doing drugs does? Okay, last time. This is your brain. This is drugs.
And welcome back after that quick commercial break. We are back to Green Flag Racing, 68 leading the field. Five car of Brandon Hinton has moved up to the second place position. I think the 48 of Max Dinda does have some pretty significant damage. He's going to struggle to try to maintain pace here. He did end up going 2 laps down. He just went his second lap down. He cycles in back to the field. Hopefully these guys can safely make their way around him. We don't have any more instances. It looks like he is pretty significantly off pace here. Hard contact into the wall right there as the 6 is looking to the bottom. Looks like he is dropping like a rock throughout this field. 23 finally got his repairs finished up. He's pulling off like pit road back up onto the track. Got quite a good battles going on here throughout the track. 43 was having a little good battle with the 57. Looks like he got into the wall there with some damage. Four car looking inside to the 82 there. That is for your 6th place position. Looks like the 5 car Brandon Hinton is still staying on that bottom line, slowly starting to run back down our race leader, Tom Ringer. He's got about a second gap. He's got to close. Tom's running that high line. I expect to see that gap start to grow until these tires are wearing. We got a good battle developed back here through position 6 through 8. That is Tyler Waltz, Christopher Morton, Chuck Burley, and Tanner Honeycutt doing a good little battle back here. We got 5 cars up here in the mix battling for that 5th place position.
Man, Hunter, this is Bristol's interesting.
I think Bristol's one of my favorite tracks to run, just due to the fact of you can run pretty much anywhere on the racing surface, right? You have the bottom line, the top line. A lot of guys will run that middle line, and then you get that like hybrid diamond style line. So it's interesting to see how these guys are able to find their speed, especially in the NextGen car. These cars have plenty of gearing to run that top line and get a huge run off if these guys can keep it to stick.
Man, I was telling Edwin earlier in the broadcast, it's my favorite track, man. Just everything about it. I like racing. I was out there practicing a little bit, but just the broadcast, man. Everything, the lights. I love this track.
Especially here at nighttime, it's looking beautiful out there. We got a lot of good battles going on out here through the field. 5 cars under a blanket, starting with the 6 car. Ryan Godfrey leading back to the 54, man. These guys are not giving an inch there. You see the bottom line will get a huge gap there on entry, and then as soon as the top line's able to get back to the throttle, they'll just start pulling back away. As The 6 car looks like he's able to slightly clear the 4, but he gets into the wall. 4 is going to come out door to door, and here we go again for another lap.
I should probably put up the positions.
That's the issue with
side.
running that true high line. If you watch that 6 car, is you have to back down the throttle enough to not make contact with the wall there in center of corner, and then off of corner, you got to really pay attention to how much you're on the throttle, because you don't really see corner exit until you're at corner exit. So you got to be careful not to roll the throttle too hard there into the wall there on that exit.
Man, sure could throw a blanket over these.
Looked like the 82 and the 13 were trying to go 4 wide. The 82 was looking in the middle, the 13 was looking at the very bottom. Both of them decide to back out of it and let these guys continue to battle.
6 keeps sucking up into the wall.
Yeah, he's carrying just a bit too much speed there on entry. 82 is trying to find any way around as that high line's now getting held up. 4 and the 82 are now side by side. 6 is going to clear. Now the 82 and 4 are battling.
Yeah, the 6 car is trying to hold these guys off, but I mean they're right there, and they definitely want to get by him right now, and they want to get moving towards the front. They're on the same pit cycle of tires, so there's no tire difference right now, but they definitely want to start moving in the right direction.
One thing we need to keep an eye on, we were talking about how the 68 had a 1 second gap over second place Brandon Hinton. That is now down to 0.3 of a second. Brandon Hinton has now caught our leader, the 68 of Tom Ringer.
Yeah, he's in motion. He's trying to get there. He really wants to get up to him right now. As we also, I believe, have a battle for the first car 3 laps down, as Hunter Cox is battling Max Dinda.
Both with some pretty significant damage, just trying to minimize that amount of damage, right?
We got Earl Lee spinning in towards the wall, but that's a 1-car spin.
Looks like he is safely able to re-enter. It is a 1-car spin. We are going to stay green as the 329 car is going to work his way down the pit road or try to safely manage this damage back onto the track. Looks like he elects to stay out.
You know, I think the last car Tom Ringer wanted to see behind him is that 5-car Brandon Hinton. That car has some way of appearing on Tom Ringer and spoiling something for him. I mean, keep in mind, he won the championship over him by, 2 points? And then the first race of the season, he beat him by less than a second for the win at Daytona. So that car might be a little omen for Tom Ringer.
From 1 second to 1/10 of a second, Brandon Hinton is now knocking on that rear bumper. Looks to the inside of the 68. 68's going to try to get around on the high side. Cannot do it. New race leader, 5-car, Brandon Hinton.
Almost looked like he kind of let him by. He might be just kind of letting him by in this time, trying to manage his tires and fuel right now.
Yeah, that's one thing you got to pay attention to is that 5-car has been on the bottom line the entire time. His tires are not going to be as worn as anybody running the middle to the upper line. As you can see now, he's already pulled out to a 0.5 of a second gap over Tom Ringer.
One thing I do want to highlight is, yes, they're a lap down, but it's the battle for a first car lap down, 67-29, getting side by side right in front of Todd Perrott. 67's going to clear the 29, and he now settles in the first car lap down unless the leader starts lapping more cars.
Yeah, looking at our leader, the 5-car, we were talking about the 5 and the 68, right, pulling out to a little gap. They are now 5.5 seconds in front of our 3rd place car, the 60 of Brian Sousa.
Yeah, they definitely checked out in the right way. They got themselves separated from the carnage going on in this race, and they made sure that they were going to put themselves in the front and be the ones to be talked about today.
90 laps complete here at Bristol of 200. We are nearing that halfway mark as these guys are still pushing hard. Race leader, the 5-car, Brandon Hinton. 2nd place, 68 of Tom Ringer. The 60 of Brian Sousa in 3rd. 13 of Tanner Honeycutt running in 4th. And the 4-car of Chuck Burley running in 5th.
Brandon Hinton's pulling up on the next car to put a lap down. It's going to be 03 Austin McKnight. He's going to put him a lap down and continue his charge, trying to put a gap on Tom Ringer, a big gap, so that when they do have green flag pit stops, if they do have them, he doesn't have much to worry about.
5 car looks like he's going to get in a bit of a predicament here. Oh, cars
Yellow
are out.
out.
40. Oh, 5, 03 into hard into the back of the 05. Looks like the 48 car was the original cause of the caution. Your leader, the 5 car, Brandon Hinton, did receive some damage. Looks like the 03 car got into the rear of the 5 car as they were getting slowed up.
That's just a net code incident right there. They never touched, and just it sent that 48 around.
Let's see if we can go back to our leader and see what kind of damage he received. He is entering pit road right now. Looks like he's going to bring a lot of these lead lap cars there with him. Hopefully not too extensive. He can get these repairs done and get back onto the track.
Now remember, lap down cars have a race within a race. And due to that 03 getting some kind of damage, it allowed Charles Connor to get the lucky dog, and he is now back on the lead lap. Right there, ever so slightly. If you back it up a little bit more, you'll see just ever so slightly. 5 car lifted, 03 didn't see it, got shoved into the wall, gave the 05 some rear end damage.
Well, let's see. 5 car. We're going to go to a quick commercial break. We will be right back.
Hey, Mike, I know you think your truck is totally sick, but this is what I think of your precious 4x4 hang out all day with your stupid friend's truck! Push it!
Is there anyone out there who still isn't clear about what doing drugs does? Okay, last time. This is your brain. This is drugs. This is your brain on drugs. Any questions?
Hey, Lindsay? I wish you didn't smoke weed. You're not the same when you smoke. And I miss my friend. I'll be outside.
Welcome back after that quick commercial break. 5 car able to repair what he could. Still in the lead. 68 to his outside. 13 of Tanner Honeycutt restart behind the 5. 4 of Chuck Burley start behind the 68. Green flag is out. 5 car off to a decent jump.
68 right there with him, but 5 car got a bit of a better jump. And I like how these guys gave each other a little bit of space on that start. They did not want to see another quick caution. So they gave about a half car length space between each other, not breaking any kind of rules or anything, but making sure everything's good. As the 68 sails past the 5 of Brandon Hinton.
Yeah, the 5's leaving that high line open, which I think is going to hurt him here in the long run on these newer tires. There you go, as he finally shuts the door there on the front stretch. But you got to be careful. These high line guys that'll run, they'll get a massive run on corner exits. So if you can run that high line, you're going to force them down low.
And I'm surprised it's actually working out for him against the 4 car. The 4 car is a high line running car, but he went to the bottom and he was able to hold strong. It seems like he takes a couple laps to get up to pace and then he starts moving, but he seems to run that bottom line better than Tom Ringer, as he's already starting to reel him in just a tad bit.
We are down to 10 cars remaining on the lead lap. Christopher Morton currently sitting in your lucky dog hot seat. He's going to be racing with Craig Knoll, Austin Knight, and Jacob Williams for that lucky dog.
Yeah, Charles Connors stayed out, didn't go to pit road after getting that lucky dog, so now he's sitting back there on those old tires, and as you see, he's dropping fast.
Well, so keep in mind, whenever you do get a lucky dog, you are required to start from the end of the longest lines. He was starting from the rear of the field. He's trying to work his way through all the lap traffic to get back up to the lead lap cars.
Yeah, I'm just surprised he didn't, as soon as he went around that lap to get his lucky dog, didn't dive off the pit road. Because, you know, now he's out here in 44 lap old tires while everybody else is on now 11 lap old tires. So, like we said, tires reign supreme. If you don't have tires, you're going backwards. So
as our race is just now over, halfway complete, 68 of Tom Ringer. Looks like he is going to put the 07 car of Jacob Williams 1 lap down. Sorry, 2 laps down.
at least 07's doing the right thing. He's trying to get out of the way of the field. He's making sure he doesn't cause any kind of issue, and he is making sure he doesn't interfere with the racing.
'82 of Christopher Morton and the 63 of Craig Knoll in a good battle back here for the 11th place position. 82 is going to run that high line, 63 on the bottom as they stay door to door. 82 is going to clear.
And now those guys are battling for the first car lap down, so Christopher Morton getting into that position is going to be a key factor for him. He's just got to hope that a caution comes out sooner than later. As 82 into the wall. And he's going to make it to pit road without any further issue to the race. Caution actually comes out. Looked like he made contact with one too many cars.
We're going to step away to a quick commercial break. We will be right back.
Welcome back. We are back here. We are on lap 118, about to be on lap 119 when these guys go back to green flag racing. We're going to take a look at the replay here real quick. 82 car seems like he just got loose and then made contact with the 07 right there in the rear end as we're back to green flag racing.
68 with a decent jump there. 5 cars not going to let him get out too far. They're heading into turn number 3. 68 is going to be able to maintain the lead. 54 looking to the outside. He's going to clear the 5 car battle for second place. 54 is not done yet. Going to look to the outside of the 68.
He's trying to get his teammate right now. He wants to go for the lead. He does it. Clears the 68. 68 not putting up much of the fight. Oh, the 4 car also getting past the 5 at the same time, and these guys are going towards the front. I do want to call out something. These guys have 23 to 25 laps on their tires, but back in the P6 position, Charles Connor, he's battling for P4 with the 13. He's got 5 laps on his tires. So he's got tire advantage on his side. Let's see if he can make something of it. Because as soon as he hits the point of equalization, his run's over.
Tom Ringer not looking to give up that lead just yet as he's trying to battle back on the inside to his teammate in the 54 of Tyler Waltz.
Look at the lead pack, man. They're grouping up real bad. They're getting real close to each other. Someone with fresher tires is going to be benefiting from that. But you also got to remember that the guys right in front of him are probably conserving. They understand that there's some fresher tires behind them. So they're going to get out of the way. They're going to let him burn his material up. And then when it equalizes, they're going to come back for it.
Talking about special tires, look at the 67 of Charles Connor. Working his way from 1 lap down now to second place. Battling the 54. Looks like he might get the 54 heading into turn number 3.
And if he can do this right, the bottom side is hard to make a pass on, but if he can do it, he's going to be your new race leader, but the 54 is going to clear him, and he is now going to try and switch to the outside to try and get around that 54.
Looks like the 67 car has 10 laps on his tires. Everybody else has 30 laps. Pretty significant advantage there as he's now to the rear bumper of the 54, trying to figure out a way off. He's going to get a drive off, heading off from turn number 2 into turn number 3, side by side.
Yeah, that 54 is pushing hard to stay in front of that 67, but 67's also doing a good job on making sure he doesn't ruin himself, doesn't overdo it, as he's even going to allow Tom Ringer to get past him and drop P3 for a split second as he comes back into the P2 position.
67 rolling that high line and closes that second place position. Now the 68 car Tom Ringer is under threat from the 13 of Tanner Honeycutt, who gets loose off of turn number 2.
A lot of cars right behind them as they've also got a lap car directly in front of them. So they're trying to make the best of this situation that they possibly can.
Lap car pulls off. This is now a nail-biting fight for the lead. 67 to the rear bumper, trying to get the drive off of the corner. He cannot get it.
It's almost like he can't run the inside. The inside is just not his friend. He has to figure out a way to get to that outside of that 54.
Slight contact there in the wall as he's trying to mirror the 54's line, trying to get as big of a run to his rear bumper as he can. He knows he's got to make this pass work before the tires start to equalize.
Yeah, he's creeping up on 20 laps on his tires now, which is going to put the rest of them at 40 laps on his tires, which is going to be only at 20, as they actually have a moment, but there's a lap car there.
Contact with the 23 of Thomas Long, that puts him into the wall. Oh, 67 loose in front of the field. 67 around, caution comes out.
And he gets hit, pile drive by a couple of cars. He just might have got a little bit overzealous there, and it just bit him.
That is the 23 car and the 67 car originally, and it looks like the 43 just had all gas, no brakes. That's the difficult part, is when you start to get here and you start encountering some of that lap traffic is it kind of picks a lane, right? So the lap traffic stayed high. 67, just kind of too much throttle there into entry, got loose off exit, right in front of the 4 car of Chuck Burley, 23, and then if we keep watching, it looks like the 43 came in, and definitely his race is over.
Multiple people pile drive in there. Oh, who is that who just sailed into there? That's crazy. A lot of cars damaged hard in that because there was just nowhere for them to go.
As they're still making contact there. I'm going to step away to a quick commercial break. We will be right back.
Ship my pants? Right here? Ship my pants, you're kidding.
You can ship your pants right here.
You hear that? I can ship my pants for free.
Wow, I just may ship my pants.
Yeah, ship your pants. Billy, you can ship your pants too.
I can't wait to ship my pants, Dad.
I just shipped my pants, and it's very convenient.
Very convenient.
I just shipped my drawers.
I just shipped my nightie.
I just shipped my bed.
If you can't find what you're looking for in store, we'll find it at Kmart.com right now and ship it to you for free.
Welcome back after that quick commercial break. You got the 68 of Tom Ringer in the lead. His teammate, 54, who was outside. Another teammate, 4 car, Chuck Burley, restarting in 3rd. 59, Matthew Tennant, 4th. Brandon Hinton in 5th. We have the 48 car of Max Denda, who was involved in an incident earlier, in here for an interview with us. Max, walk us through what happened there to you tonight.
So, caution came out, wrecking the back. I was just coasting it back to the pace car, and I think it was a 67. He, with the way that the windshield is, he has like a little sun visor, so he couldn't see anybody coming. So he thought the coast was clear. Didn't know that leaders were coming, and just pulled out. No, obviously he didn't do it on purpose, but I got like 13 minutes of damage, and I'm 44 laps down now. So I hate it. Drove from the back to the front after using my fast repair, and you know, I feel like I just deserve much better here. It's my best racetrack. I feel like I would have had a shot to win. So yeah, it just sucks to be wrecked out like that.
Yeah, you definitely had some speed out there tonight. You know, watching you kind of maneuver your way through traffic back to the front, up to the race lead. You know, walk us through. You know, what were some of the different strategies? You know, how important are tires out here? What's your fuel window like? You know, what were you intending to do to try to put that 48 in play?
You can go like 110 laps on fuel, so fuel wasn't really much concern. Tires were pretty big if you go on a long VIN flag run, but when that caution came out where Tom Ringer took tires and a lot of other people, I actually came in and took tires right when pit road opened, and I risked going a lap down doing that. The pace car was like 2 seconds back when I left pit road, but I didn't know this when I was doing it, but I ended up jumping all the people who just pitted while having brand new tires. So that was really lucky by me. And then just few laps later, really unlucky to be wrecked out like that.
The 48 of Max Denda now currently sitting 44 laps down. Unfortunate end to his race as he was having such a strong performance here tonight. Looking back at our current race, 68 of Tom Ringer has pulled out to a 1.1 second gap over his teammate, the 54 of Tyler Waltz, followed by another teammate, 4-car of Chuck Burley, 1.3 seconds back. Now looking to the inside of the 54 car of Tyler Waltz.
It's been a real interesting race so far. I mean, these guys were battling hard everywhere they possibly could, and it's just, you know, the battle of the Coliseum, man. That fight has crept up and got a lot of these guys.
Yeah, unfortunately, we have seen a lot of cars receive some pretty significant damage here throughout these cautions. So for the cars that we do have remaining, we have 9 cars currently sitting on the lead lap. You have the 69 of Todd Perron actually 1 lap down. He was been a front runner for most of the night, running up there in P2 behind his teammate, the 68 car.
Yeah, I think the 68 car might be the cleanest car out here on the track right now. He had that one incident right at the start, but other than that, he's avoided pretty much everything. And he's been doing a great job managing his tires, managing everything he needs to, and he's having one heck of a run right now.
As our leader is going to start pulling up to some lap traffic, is at the 3-car of Sean Dion.
I think that's the 03 car of Austin Knight.
You are correct.
Which is, you know, interesting because the 03 car was another car that was running within the top 10, and just circumstance after circumstance reached up and bit him. Looks like the 4-car Chuck Burley is settling into that P2 position after dispatching Tyler Waltz, and now he's trying to just mitigate damage and hold on to that position.
Like all of our lap cars are going to stay high. 54 making his way around. 59 looking to follow in suit with the 5 right there behind him.
You know, the interesting part is Tom Ringer started P2, which is, you know, he started on the front row, you knew it would be fast. But Chuck Burley and Tyler Waltz started 13th and 12th, respectively. And they are now sitting in 2nd and 3rd. Both those guys up 11 positions and 9 positions equally, and they are making the best of the situation presented to them. The next highest gainer would be Ryan Godfrey, who started 23rd and is up into the P7 position. So it was possible to get to the front even if you had been starting in the back.
Yeah, that's Bristol for you, man. Is Bristol is a lot of things can happen. You have so many different lines where people can find speed, and it's a lot of cars on a short track that's high banked. You can carry a lot of momentum throughout here.
As Charles Connor is now under threat of going a lap down. Remember, this was a guy who was just racing his way to the front, and he was almost taking the lead until he spun himself out, and now he's under threat of going a lap down again. Or 2 laps down.
Yeah, 67 was involved in that last incident. They're now side by side heading into turn number 1. Let's see if the 68 can clear, or if the 67 is going to put up a fight.
Looks like a bit of a fight from the 67. He does not want to go a second lap down. He wants to stay in contention for that lucky dog position, but he needs to get to Todd Perron to make that happen.
68 is able to clear, which is good for him. The longer that they battle, the more that's going to draw the rest of the field to right behind them. And the 4-car of Chuck Burley is now down to 0.8 of a second.
Yeah, I'm surprised how much this race has turned into a very, tight-knit racing battle track. These guys have to put up with a lot of stuff going on. They've got to really pay attention to who's all around them and what all they can do. Because you've got guys multiple laps down, but they're just biding their time. Some of them have even ticked off other people because other people were wrecked out of the race. So it's an interesting one here.
We had a good little battle developing for the 5th place position. 13 of Tanner Honeycutt able to secure the position. The 59 car of Matthew Tennant. Now you have 2 teammates there who are nose to tail. The 5 car Brandon Hinton, 13 of Tanner Honeycutt looking to run down Rat Fink driver, the 54 Tyler Waltz.
And they're right there with him. I mean, they're not far behind him at all. So if they play their cards right, they can get past that 54 and disrupt that Rat Fink 1-2-3 right now.
50,
they're right there on him.
54 is trying to look to get to the inside of the 329 car Earl Lee, as he looks like he's going to be able to clear him heading into turn number 3. 5 is going to look to capitalize. 13 follows.
And see, look at the difference right there. The 54 had to battle the 329 on the straightaway, which shallowed out his entry, made it a little harder. He had to check up a bit more. But the 5 car, the 13, didn't have to do that. They were able to just go straight to the corner, get by him, and get past him. So that lap car did not come into play for them, but the 67 looks like he is going to come into play for them and is going to be right in their way.
67 with a massive checkup to that inside line. That's going to put the brakes on the 55 and then the 13 and increase that gap now to the 54. They're going to have to work twice as hard to get back to the rear bumper.
And it looks like the 54 saw that. Tyler Waltz was like, hey, these guys are catching me. Let me move up a lane. And he moved up the lane to try and gain some momentum and try and put a little bit more of a gap on those guys at the risk of his tires.
Nice little green flag run here developing as we are now 25 laps remaining in this race.
And that's pretty good. As Tom Ringer actually got passed by Chuck Burley while we were watching this go down. Chuck Burley has taken over the race lead of this race and is now looking to put a gap between himself and his teammate and secure a race victory for himself.
Rat Fink holding down the podium positions 1 through 3. You have TRN knocking on the door. I think this is going to be an interesting battle if this stays green, if these guys are going to be able to run them back down. But 20 laps to go. We are now go time.
And one thing that the 2 guys, the 5 of Brandon Hinton and 13 of Tanner Honeycutt have going for them is they are long run experts. They understand what they need to do to maximize the run. They understand how to drive on worn tires. But a thing that is against them is Chuck Burley is also a long run expert. Tom Ringer can be really good at a long run. So they might be able to get Tyler Waltz, but the next 2 are going to be a hard fight if they get near him, as Tom Ringer is actually catching Chuck Burley. Well, he was for a split second. Now Chuck Burley is putting that gap on him again.
.54 gets checked up by a little bit of lap traffic, pulls the rear bumper of the 48. That's going to slow his momentum, allow the 4th and 5th place position to close that gap as the 5 car is now to the rear bumper of the 54.
Yeah, the 5 car kind of put a little bit of gap on the 13 of Tanner Honeycutt, but Brandon Hinton is there, and he is ready to pounce on that 54 at the sign of the slightest mistake.
I'm looking to see if the 5 car will utilize that outside lane here to try to get past the 54. It looks like he does not. He is, tried and true to this bottom line, even with the high line open. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he's been kind of a bottom feeder all night, and he's been kind of stuck to that bottom as he actually gets to the inside of the 54, and they actually get into each other. 54 goes around, and we have a caution. That's a little uncharacteristic of Brandon Hinton. So let's see if something happened there. Looks like he was there and just, I don't know, man. What do you think, Hunter? I don't want to say my piece. I want you to say yours.
I mean, looking at it from this perspective, it looks like the 5 car definitely had the nose in there on the bottom when they were on exit. Kind of looks like the 54 rolled down like a standard middle to high line exit, and that rolled down off the nose of the 5 and kind of sent him around.
Yeah, I think he might have thought he might have had a bit more space, which is nothing wrong with that. But he thought he might have had a bit more space, and it turned out he did not, and that sent them around.
So this is going to throw a wrench in things as we now have 12 laps remaining. We'll have about 10 remaining after this pit cycle, and we go back to green. You think we're going to see the pace pick up here? Well, I definitely think.
Sorry,
we'll
I didn't hear the question you asked. I'm sorry.
I say with when we go back to green, we're gonna have about 10 laps to go. Do you think we're gonna see the pace pick up here?
Oh yeah, 100%. Because now it's do or die time, definitely. At 25 to go, it already was, but now it's at its most crucial time. You know, Chuck Burley's going to have to defend against Tom Ringer. Tom Ringer's going to have to defend against Brandon Hinton. Brandon Hinton's got to defend against the car behind him, and so forth and so forth. These guys are going to have to fight hard. Those starting on the outside will have a little bit of an advantage right at the start, but those on the inside, if there's a gap, best believe they're jumping up there and they're going to make it work.
Yeah, some interesting decisions by the 5. You know, when he had the high lane open, he elected not to do that, to stick to what he's been running all race, to run the bottom. I wonder here as we close in on these later laps if he's going to start working his way to the top or if he's going to stick to the bottom.
Yeah, and that's one thing about the 5 car we haven't seen all night is him be on the top side. He has been a bottom feeder all night long. So he's kind of an unknown variable right now on what he can do if he moves up. So that's going to change a lot of this race. If he moves up, what could possibly happen?
Pace car pulls in. You got the Rat Fink drivers up front. TRN starting behind. Let's see who gets a good jump here. 4's off. 5's going to hold to the inside of the 68. 13's on the high side.
Looks like they all got a massive jump and all did great. 13's actually going to clear Brandon Hinton. Tanner Honeycutt's at the P3 position.
Doesn't look like he's stopping there as he gets a good run off. He's going to get to the outside of his teammate. Sorry, of the 68, but he dives back down to the bottom to apex off. A 68 is now looking to the inside.
I'm surprised not more cars are moving up top. Because look at Chuck Burley. He's running a little bit higher. He's running about a middle lane. And now here goes Tom Ringer up there as well. They want to put a gap. I think other people need to start moving up the track. It's less than 10 to go. It's the time to do that. You don't have to worry about your tires as much.
'68 car with some, 69 car with some massive damage. He is now going down to pit road. Not for sure what happened there as we are closing. Caution comes out. Looks like the 03 car of Austin Knight.
Yeah, 03 car was going for a move there on the inside of the 07, and 07 bounced off the wall and got him.
So rewind it back even further because the 69 of Todd Perrant was also involved here with this 03 car. So go back to the previous corner there. Right there. So watch this out for the next couple laps because it looks like the 69 car was also involved in this incident. The 69 of Todd Perrant looking to get a black flag cleared for passing under yellow.
Looks like 69 came up into the 03, and it was just a 100% net code. I mean, they were half a car length apart, and net code just seemed to get them. Oh, here's an interesting development. From what I've just heard over TrackBite, the 68 of Tom Ringer had some computer issues out of the race.
As that interesting development, the 68 internet instability will now pull him out of the race. That is going to leave his teammate Chuck Burley in the 4 car to fend against TRN drivers 13 and 5.
That's going to be a tough one because right behind that is 3 Beer Run Racing drivers, Ryan Godfrey, Matthew Tennant, and Brian Souza. They're right there. Green flag comes out. 4 car gets an amazing launch. 13, a pretty decent launch.
Oh, wrecking already. The 07 car pulls onto the apron and loops it in front of the track. Looks like we are yellow flag is back out.
That's going to put us in green-white checker number 2.
We're going to step away to a quick commercial break. We will be right back.
Mom, can I have a popsicle?
No, honey, you'll spoil your...
Hey parents, tired of those out-of-control kids? Throwing embarrassing tantrums wherever they go. At the grocery store, on the playground, even at the dinner table. You've had it with parenting, but wait, there is a solution. Introducing NapTime, the latest, most effective tool for child tantrum prevention. It's simple. Just douse a rag with our patented Sleepy Time formula, place it over your child's cry hole, press and hold gently for 8 to 12 seconds, and presto, no more tantrum.
I was beginning to think adoption was the only way out. Then a friend of mine introduced me to NapTime. It's never been so quiet around here.
The secret lies in NapTime's revolutionary fast-to-sleep formula. Developed by military-trained scientist doctors from NASA, NapTime's powerful molecules rush to the child's brain on contact, gently inducing instant tranquility.
This is chloroform.
Already put those wallet-draining crap factories out on the street? That's okay! NapTime works in any situation. On the golf course. An awkward blind date.
I had a really good time tonight.
It even works on pets.
After we had our first child here, we regretted it almost immediately.
We didn't know that she'd cry so much.
Talk about defective. But thanks to NapTime, our little Samantha here hasn't made a noise in weeks. I keep her in a shoebox.
Call now and we'll send you your very own 24-ounce bottle of NapTime solution for only 23 easy payments of $1.99. But wait, there's more. Act quickly and you'll also receive the all-new Dream Sack absolutely free. It's compact and portable for those on-the-go tantrums. Just cover it, tighten it, and forget about it. It's that simple.
We can't breathe good.
So if this looks familiar...
I feel pregnant.
Then don't wait! Order today and join the millions of Americans who just can't stop saying...
Thanks.
Welcome back after that quick commercial break as we come back to green-white checker attempt number 2. 4-car Chuck Burley, 13 Tanner Honeycutt, back to green. Big jump on the inside for the 4 and the 5, 13 and the 5, going to be side by side.
13's going to have to roll these outsides to the best of his ability. Can't touch the wall as we're coming down to 3 and 4. Can he get there to the 4? He hits the wall. He's not going to be able to make it there.
5-car still not looking to give up this position as the 13 taps the wall there again. Final lap, 4-car Chuck Burley. 13
Tanner
around.
spins. Spun and still took the P3 position. Man, that was a finish.
Race winner, 4-car of Chuck Burley. 2nd place, Brandon Hinton. 3rd place, 13, Tanner Honeycutt.
Oh man, Ryan Godfrey almost snuck through there, but he actually got beat by both cars to the line. Tanner Honeycutt, man. Tanner, how are you on that 3rd place finish?
I will take it, but that is not the restart I wanted. The first one was definitely the better of the two. Coming out of 2 right there, I smacked the wall, got wheel damage, and it wouldn't turn. I just kind of had to send it just to secure 3. But good win for Chuck. I know he's been close to winning for the past couple weeks now, and cool to finish up there with my teammate Hinton.
You know, at the Great Coliseum, we have some short track racing here tonight. Walk us through what led you to that 3rd place finish.
So here recently, what I've been doing is kind of just starting in the back, hanging out for a bit, kind of figuring out the track, and real quick, I was pretty able to tell that the high line was burning more tires than the bottom line was, and after, I want to say that one long green run stint that we had, saved enough tires. I think I started 14th and drove all the way to 4th, and running the low line, backing up corners significantly, and just tapping the gas just to rotate through the corner. Saved a whole lot of tire, and I was able to basically drive through the whole field, stay up front, and start pitting with all the top guys. I hate Tom's computer just crashed. That might have been a even better finish, a shootout for the finish right there.
Yeah, Tanner, it looked like you had some real good long run speed, and then at the end of that first green white chair, it looked like you had probably the momentum to get there. Did you think you had a shot in that first green white checkered?
Yeah, the start wasn't great, but it was enough where there was a big enough gap between Hinton and Chuck that I could fall in, kind of follow behind Chuck, and then start doing the whole diamond pattern with it being Bristol. But I don't even know what that caution came out for. But yeah, once the second one come out, I was kind of like, man, like just tried basically everything in the book there, and we are still on kind of worn tires. So it's career suicide to try to pit there and take tires. So figured I had to stay out and run it till it couldn't go anymore, and I think I did that.
Well, Tanner Honeycutt, congratulations on your 3rd place finish. That was a dominant performance with you running up there in the top 5. Once again, congratulations, and we look forward to seeing you out here racing next weekend.
I appreciate it, guys, and thank you guys for the broadcast. And I don't know if I wrecked anybody there at the end, but I apologize if I did. That wall would not leave me alone. But I appreciate you guys. Thank you, DES, and Damon, for putting on this fun race every week.
That was Tanner Honeycutt, your 3rd place finisher. We're going to get the 5-car of Brandon Hinton up here, your 2nd place finisher. Brandon, walk us through how that race went for you tonight.
Yeah, it was pretty good. I was much better on long runs. Once we got a long run, that bottom was really coming in. So when it was caution, 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 I knew I was kind of in trouble. And I was able to hold him off there late and get second. Congrats to Chuck and Tanner, my teammate, for getting third. And it was just an all-around good finish.
Yeah, it seemed like Hinton, you were kind of a bottom feeder that whole race. I mean, I don't think there was even a point where I saw you move to the top side. Were you just most comfortable there, or did you know that that was going to benefit you the most?
Yeah, I'm a bottom feeder. So if I'm on the top, there's something wrong. um, yeah, for some reason, I just like running the bottom. One, it saves your tires a lot more. And if we ever did get a long run like we did, I was able to get Tom and get to the lead just by having more tire that way. So I prefer the bottom and running that and seeing what that gets me.
Yeah, we saw there from some of those the longer green flag runs that we had is, you know, you were tried and true to that bottom. Like, even though the top line may be free, I think you were battling the 54 car at the time, Tyler Waltz. And you had that lap car running the top line who had the momentum, but the 54 was staying on the low line. We were both really surprised to see you stick there. You know, what was the big thing that brought you up here to the top front? Was there any specific strategies, or just running that low line, trying to save as much tire as you can?
Yeah, that's basically it. Just running the bottom, and I could get into center from enter to the center a lot more. I could gain. They would get it off exit, but I was gaining center, and like I said, saving tires. So if we ever did get a long run, it was going to benefit me. So that was kind of the thought process.
Yeah, man, it was beautiful watching you run that race. I mean, I feel like you were probably the most consistent guy out there outside of Tom Ringer, and that was beautiful, man. You ran the masterful race out there.
Thanks, man. And I have to say, Daytona, that was on me. I can't believe that I turned you. I felt so bad. I was just trying to get you out in front. So I have to say, I'm sorry that happened.
You know, I had zero hard feelings because I definitely understood the situation happening, and I'm glad that you got a good finish tonight. That definitely makes up for Wednesday, and I hope to see you have a good finish throughout the rest of the weekend and throughout the rest of the season.
Thanks, guys, and like I said, I appreciate what you guys do up there in the booth. So we'll see you guys tomorrow.
Thank you, Brandon. Congratulations once again on your second place finish. We're going to get our race winner in here, the 4-car of Chuck Burley. Chuck, walk us through how that race went for you.
So basically the first half of the race, I was just biding my time and just trying to stay out of trouble, not burning up my stuff. And then near the middle of the back half of the race, I started catching Tom because I think he was running, fast lap after fast lap. So I figured he was burning his stuff up, and I slowly reeled him in. Then the cautions came out. And then Tom's computer crashed, so he basically had a hardware failure. So I took him out of the equation. And then at that point, I just had to hang on for those last few green-white checkers. So basically dodged everything I could, and it was there at the end. So that's all you can hope for.
Yeah, Chuck Burley, I think that moment under green flag laps when you were able to make that pass on Tom Ringer, I think that kind of set you in the right direction. Do you think possibly that was the same thing, once you got around him?
I think once I got around him, I had like a 2 or 3 second lead to third at that point, and I was pulling from him, so I was praying for it to stay green. But then I think yellow came out with like 10 or 15 to go, so it was like we all came down for tires. And then I was able to stay in the lead, and then a couple of quick succession of yellows kind of made it to where nobody really had a chance to fight me for the lead. So I guess the yellows worked in my favor at the end, but if it would have stayed green, I think I would have had it as well.
Chuck, currently you are sitting in the 5th place position in the NextGen point series, 35 points behind the current leader, your teammate, the 68 of Tom Ringer. Heading into Charlotte next week, what kind of momentum do you look to carry forward to making your way up through these points?
I think this point, I'll be points racing. I'll be trying to stay clean because at the end of the day, if you wreck, you're screwed. So it's top 10s. I mean, I think I can make the top 8, which I believe is top 8 makes the playoffs. So basically same mindset I had tonight. Stay clean the first half, see where we are second half, and then if we got a chance to go for the win, I'm going to go for it.
Well, Chuck Burley, that was an amazing race. You absolutely drove the wheels off of that thing. Well done. Congratulations. And man, I hope you carry this momentum throughout the rest of the season.
I appreciate it, guys. Thank you. Great job on the broadcast.
Chuck Burley, your race winner here for tonight. Edwin, you want to close us out here?
Yes, sir. That was a beautiful battle at the Coliseum here at Bristol Motor Speedway in the next-gen cars. A lot of attrition happened. A lot of crazy things went on. But all in all, Chuck Burley was the man to come out on top, battle his way to the front, and make everything happen. I appreciate you, Hunter Davis, joining me here in the booth. Damon O'Brien, of course, which you're producing and commentating you did today. It was absolutely amazing. Thank you to all our viewers and DES iRacing drivers. And I can't wait to see you in the next one. See ya.